Hi, everyone. Yeah, I'm Nick. I lead the technical and product direction for Truffle. Firstly, thanks, Infura, for having me, and congratulations on the 350,000 users. I'm here today to demo something that I think is really cool that we'll be releasing soon. But first, for those of you that are not familiar, the Truffle suite of tools is mostly these two tools. There's Ganache, which is our blockchain simulator. It has a development focus, and that means that it gives you nice features like zero config mainnet forking. You can unlock arbitrary accounts. You can rewind time, that sort of thing. It's very useful for a lot of different use cases when working with Ethereum and other blockchain technologies. Truffle kind of sits on top of that alongside it, and it's this workflow first tool that lets you write your smart contracts, compile them, debug them. We have a fully featured Solidity debugger, an automated test framework. But I'm not here to talk about these two specifically today. I'm here to talk about a problem, which is that if you're building a dApp, you probably need to share your private key with someone else's JavaScript. Have any of you ever had to do something like this? It's like I had to pixelate those secrets because I wasn't comfortable sharing those secrets with you all, 364 of my close friends. You think I want to share that information with JavaScript? Node.js. I don't. Absolutely not. Okay, I know what you're thinking, but isn't it MetaMask's job to keep all my secrets safe and do my signing for me? Yes, it is. It is MetaMask's job. MetaMask does that very well. And I love MetaMask. MetaMask is incredible. It's like basically invented Web3 or brought Web3 to adoption. It's like holds all my secrets. I can hook up a hardware wallet. I can interact with dApps. And it all works great in a web browser. But I'm often doing like smart contract development from the terminal. How do I get to use MetaMask from the terminal? Okay, all right. So we're working on it. We have Truffle Dashboard, and that will allow you to deploy your smart contracts. You can like pause, unpause from an interactive console. You can switch networks from testnet to mainnet and so on. And you can use MetaMask. Yeah. Pretty cool. So for the demo today, I just want to set up what I'll be demoing and then how I'll be demoing it. So I built this demo application that's a Guestbook because I like to show off I'm doing off-chain signatures with EIP 712. And that means that you can sign a message but not submit it. You can sign a message with zero Ether, and someone else can submit that on-chain to sign the Guestbook. You can look at the repo there. The course of the demo, I'm going to deploy the contract. I'm going to sign an off-chain message from an account with zero Ether. I'm going to then switch accounts, submit the transaction, and then we'll make sure it worked. So let's try it. I have a different browser profile. This is just set up with MetaMask on Kovan. With an Ether, with an account, I've got like 9.9 Ether. So first things first, let's do this. I'm going to run Truffle Dashboard. And this is going to pop up. I'm going to do the familiar connect wallet flow. I have two accounts here. I already gave them permission, so it skipped that. But you can see Truffle Dashboard asks for confirmation so that I don't accidentally deploy this Guestbook to mainnet. So I'll just confirm that. And the dashboard is all set up, ready to go. We don't need this window anymore, so I'm going to minimize it. I'll also resize some things so that you can follow along. What next? Let's do this. Let's do Truffle migrate. Oh, one more thing, actually, before I dismiss this. Notice that all Truffle Dashboard is really doing is it's giving you this JSON RPC URL. And I mean, of course, I'm going to demo this with Truffle, but you can use this with Hardhat. You can use it with Brownie. You can use it with Ethers, DAppTools, whatever. It's just a JSON RPC, and it will capture all your requests, and it will relay them through the dashboard. And well, you'll see. So back to minimizing this. I'm going to run Truffle migrate, and it's going to start deploying. Here we go. So Truffle migrate has told the dashboard, hey, we need to send a transaction. We're deploying a contract. So the dashboard displays it to the user, to me, and I can choose if I want to process that. And you can see I use the MetaMask confirmation window that I'm familiar with. It tells me it's a contract deployment. It's going to cost some money, and I can confirm. And now we're waiting for confirmations. Cool, that worked. Now let's try it out. So Truffle has an interactive REPL. We call it like Truffle console, read eval print loop. And this lets us interact with our live contracts. So let me grab that. We have our live Guestbook. And for this project, because EIP 712 signatures are kind of complicated, I just made a module for a bunch of utilities that I'll be demonstrating. So I give it the Guestbook. And let's start by just seeing who has signed the Guestbook already. No one has signed the Guestbook yet. Great. All right. Now let's switch to an account with 0 Ether, because I'm making claims that I want you to believe. Yeah, Jacqueline, it's a new keyboard, and I'm having a lot of trouble getting used to it. Anyway, let's do this. We're going to sign a message. Hello, Infura community. So that's what I'm going to do to sign it, but I want to capture it to a variable. So I'm going to say const signed message. And that's a promise, so I'm going to have to await it. Cool. All right. Now you can see that we have like the Truffle console, this utils.sign has asked Truffle Dashboard, hey, could you please sign this message for me? And the dashboard displays it. It's a 712 signature, so it's structured so we can see what it is that we are signing. And I'll just process this. It's from this account. This is account 2 with 0 Ether. And I'll sign that. And you can see that we have the signature here. Now let's switch back to the account with Ether, and we'll submit it on chain. So dismiss that. And now we'll just do utils.submit signed message. And as previously, the console is asking the dashboard, sign this for me. And we will do just that. Kovan is processing. Great. All right. Shall we see if it worked? How about that? I guess it worked. All right. Well, thanks, MetaMask Fox. I'm glad you enjoy it. Anyway, what to expect. This feature is almost done. We've got some finishing touches. Most of what you see will be the same as what we release. But after that, we're really excited. We have a lot of cool ideas for Truffle Dashboard. I mean, Truffle's been stuck in the terminal, which has very little screen real estate, and suddenly we have a web page. So we're thinking things like context clues, like maybe you have 10 contracts in your application and you have to deploy them one after the next. So we could show you where you are in the deployment and show you like what step you're on and stuff like that, and spinners and things. Very exciting. You probably noticed there was a lot of hexadecimal on screen. We have our own decoding library. We want to show decoded values. And like kind of perhaps our most ambitious goal. So we have our Solidity debugging library, and we have our command line interface for that. But, you know, we really could use Truffle Dashboard as a place to do like one-click debugging. Like you are about to send a transaction and you just click on the debug button and you can step through it and see what's going to happen. So yeah, it was really exciting stuff. So the Truffle Dashboard stuff works with Hard Hat. You could just use the RPC URL. In fact, like in the course of building Truffle Dashboard, we obviously know that people use Hard Hat. So we have test cases to make sure that we support Hard Hat, because we think this functionality is extremely useful and we do not want to be exclusive. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Nick. That was amazing. Love your demos. But that was great. And if anybody has any last minute questions, if not, and you don't have it queued up, please continue the conversation with Nick. Oh, did we lose him? Don't go away, Nick. Come back. You do have a question. Let me see if I can get him back up on here. In Discord, we have a Truffle channel as well, just like we have him for Infura. And we're going to invite him back in. How he not think he'd have a question? So he kind of answered that. I do think there was kind of a generic question.
I just don't know how to use computers. I'm sorry.
It's okay. But yeah, we had a question come in from I forget the username, OX something, anyway. So I'm sorry about your usernames out there. I wish I knew your real names, but it was just about the Truffle versus Hard Hat. I think I appreciate that you talked about, you actually have an integration for that rather than saying from a competitive standpoint. But just for everybody to understand, just because I know that is something that bubbles, is what do you think in terms of Truffle? What is an advantage of using Truffle in these kind of transactions versus like Hard Hat, for example? And I love that we have an integration as well. Yeah. That's playing nicely. Go ahead.
Well, Nick. Truffle is really good at keeping a handle on the high level details of your project. So like our decoder is the only decoding library that produces machine readable output. Our debugger supports every Solidity feature. We can even debug Viper experimentally. So like using Truffle Dashboard with Hard Hat, I mean, we're going to do what we can to support everything, but I don't know if Hard Hat projects will have the information that is necessary to like do some of these features. Like, I mean, Hard Hat has like that Hard Hat deploy plugin, but that's not going to provide the same information that Truffle Migrate does for instance, that the context clues that I mentioned. I don't know if it's going to be possible for Hard Hat to tell Truffle Dashboard how to decode a transaction, things like that. There's like knowledge that Truffle is able to keep just from being around for a long time by solving these problems for a long time. And so I think you'll see there will be, Truffle Dashboard will be useful anywhere you use it. I firmly believe. I think, but if you use it with Truffle, you're going to get extra features.